What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. On the last part, we got to see the introduction of new androids, some more creations by Dr. Gero meant to hunt down not only Goku, but also Salad. Besides just Cyborg Tao, androids 13, 14, and 15 made their debut, and now the group must figure out a way to fight everyone. But how strong are these androids? We'll be seeing more of them in this part. For this video, let's hit a like goal over 3,500 likes. Once we hit that, I'll continue with another part of the series. Anyways, let's pick up from here. Salad knows that something's pretty fishy right now. Besides the fact that all the androids just retreated, he clearly just saw Gero. He doesn't know what they expect him to do. Maybe they expect them to follow the other androids. Maybe it was part of their plan to be spotted. Who knows? But it seems like it might be the time for a diversion. With one finger, Salad points a blast at the water nearby, dragging it along the water, creating a massive wave. He then throws on a bunch of key blasts too, creating smoke around the area. He's not sure if Gero's watching and how many androids are with him, but what he's trying to accomplish right now is to make sure that they're not spotted retreating. Of course, it looks like the androids retreated, but for all they know, they're still out there, absorbing not only Salad's moves, but everyone else. They all follow Salad as they're led to some random place in the woods. And eventually they stumble upon Dr. Gero's lab. Salad wasn't too sure where else to go, but in terms of trying to figure out what's going on, this seems to be their best bet. And thankfully, it is empty, but Salad expects the androids to show up soon. Maybe they know that the group went here. Maybe they're at Capsule Corp, maybe they're at Kame House. He's not sure, but he expects that there's probably a trap laid somewhere. So they need to move quick. In the lab, everyone begins picking up random blueprints that they find, whatever they could find lying around, and Salad begins analyzing all of them. They also find a bunch of random android pods, labeled from numbers 13 to number 18, with 13, 14, and 15 being empty. And from what Salad can gather from the blueprints, it seems that Gero made a series of androids, although androids 16, 17, and 18 were deemed failures, and they've been left dormant, which is why they're still in their pods. The group considers destroying these ones, but Salad says he could try to reverse engineer them, either to make them good, or to figure out a weakness that he could use to exploit the other androids. But it's obviously going to take some time, so they leave those ones intact, while trying to study the blueprints for the other ones. As the group leaves, they do find one more interesting thing in the plans, something that Salad picks up right away. It notes some project labeled as Cell. Salad searched everywhere in the lab, but doesn't find this project laying about. Gero has the project in mind, and it seems he was still unsure about whether or not he wanted to pursue it. And Salad could clearly see why he hasn't pursued it yet. It seems pretty much similar to him, almost an exact copy of him if anything. A fighter comprised of the DNA of other fighters, bioengineered to be the perfect being. This must be Gero's answer to Salad, another version of him. The group exits the lab, and just as they expected, they're immediately attacked. Blasts rain down from the sky, and Salad quickly creates a barrier, with the others trying to do the same as well. And amidst all the chaos, Chaozu and Yamcha retreat with all the android pods, leaving the others behind to fight. They did want to test Kaioken, so it's kind of a bummer that they are the ones that have to drag these pods away, but maybe later on they'll get some action. It would be really fun to use Kaioken against the androids. Of course, they aren't the only ones with it, and you'll see what I mean later. But still, they kind of want to join. As all the blasts clear away, the androids see a bunch of barriers below, and 3 of them descend from the sky, the same ones from before, Tao, 14, and 15. Salad asks where Gero is, as well as that other android which he assumes is 13. 14 says not to worry about it, with 15 saying that they're the main course right now. 13 is much stronger than them anyways. So if these two can't be defeated, they have no chance of fighting 13. Not to mention, they have Tao with them, who may actually be more of an issue. The groups begin fighting, and it immediately becomes clear that they have the advantage over 14 and 15. But Tao is actually able to handle himself pretty well. Goku even comments on it. It seems this cyborg upgrade is really helping him. But amidst the fight, they then hear 2 people shout Kaioken, catching the androids off guard, as 14 is then attacked by 2 other fighters. Yamcha and Chaozu have returned, and they're finally able to use Kaioken in battle, injuring 14 as the rest of the fighters finish him off. With 14 left in pieces, they then set their attention on 15, and with the team effort, they take him out as well. Alright, this might not be as bad as they thought. There's 2 androids down, and only 3 to go. This only serves to anger Tao further. Not only is he angry to see Goku and his kid, but the fact that they're even losing. But he shouldn't lose faith. They still have him, as well as 13 and Gero. Tao begins fighting more seriously. His power is much higher, and his techniques are much better. And despite being outnumbered, he's still managing pretty well. This leads to a rematch of sorts between Tenshinhan, Goku, and Tao. And they've paced themselves long enough. They can let out more of their full power. The 2 of them begin powering up more and more, and they start seeing an advantage over Tao. He's not the only one who's improved over this time period. And the funny part is, they did it all naturally. He had to get upgrades to do so. He can't believe he's being overpowered by them. And just when they're about to finish the fight, they launch a blast at Tao, although it's blocked by someone. Gero quickly entered the battlefield, not only jumping in front of Tao to protect him, but to absorb the energy blast and get stronger himself. They finally coaxed him into fighting. But it's not just Gero that jumps in now. 13 also lands on the battlefield. And even with 2 androids defeated, they still seem very confident. And Salad gets a pretty bad feeling about this. Seeing Gero, he immediately sets his sights on the Doctor, tackling him and grabbing him as they're launched far away. They land in the woods nearby, as the showdown between Creator and Creation begins. Gero clearly isn't that strong, at least not even as strong as the other androids. It's very obvious that he's outmatched here. Sure, he's able to absorb Ki Blast, but in terms of raw physical strength, it's nothing amazing. But that's not the point here. Salad knows that Gero wasn't a threat physically. It's more so whatever he had planned, and the fact that Salad wanted to settle this one-on-one. It's not like he has anything to prove though, he just wants Gero out of his life. Gero tells Salad that he was supposed to be the ultimate creation of his, but calls him an utter failure. Had he been loyal, things would have been so much better. He could have been stronger, he could have been perfect. And none of this conflict would have ever happened. They would have just dealt with Goku, and that would have been that. But Salad doesn't care what Gero has to say. He's completely unfazed by Gero's words. He's made himself a better fighter than Gero ever could have, all through his own training and experiences. Sure, he's not perfect, but he's on the path to becoming perfect. One day he'll be there, he'll obtain his final form, and grow stronger from there on out. And the best part is, he's free to do what he wants. He's not a slave to Gero's will. Gero says it doesn't matter. Even if he's defeated, the group doesn't stand a chance against his newest creation, his ultimate android, Super Android 13. With a single swipe, he bisects Dr. Gero, taking both arms off in the swing. And with Gero literally disarmed now, Salad launches a blast that completely destroys the Doctor. It'll be interesting to see how 13's gonna act without a commander. And if anything, this helps reinvigorate Salad, the main source of his anxiety, everything that he was worrying about. He finally got rid of it. And the threats that he's facing right now, he's not worrying when they're about to appear. They're already here. He just has to manage them. He flies back over to the group, witnessing an encounter with 13. 13 and Tau have teamed up, and it seems that 13 is surprisingly powerful. The two of them together are actually enough to overwhelm the group. 13 is pretty strong, clearly much more powerful than the other androids. Salad continues wondering, is this what Gero meant when he said Super Android 13? Or was that implying something else? That maybe he can go beyond where he is now. Obviously, Gero is capable of making androids that can transform. I mean, look at Salad. As the group continues working together, they're eventually able to overpower the two androids. Just barely though, and it seems that this battle might be over. Cyborg Tau is on his last legs, and as for Android 13, he still seems relatively okay. But they have one last trick up their sleeve, something that Android 13 was saving just in case. Near the destroyed remains of Androids 14 and 15, some of the scattered pieces of them begin vibrating. The parts fly over to Android 13. Some go into his head, and some go into his chest, and it seems they assimilate with him somehow. They're not sure what's happening, but they can tell it's not good. And Tau watches on, smiling and laughing. Surely now the group will meet their demise. And he continues laughing as his fellow android begins transforming. 13 bulks up. His skin begins turning blue. His hair becomes orange and spiked up. The transformation completes, and Salad finally sees what Gero was talking about. This is what he must have meant. Super Android 13 was a transformation, a merging of the three androids. All the fighters gang up on him, in a desperate attempt to try and defeat the android. But clearly they're too late. They had their chance with regular Android 13, but with him transforming, they're completely outclassed now. 13 scans all the fighters once more, communicating with the supercomputer. He could tell how far ahead he is of them, not to mention, he could predict how they're going to fight. And then he notices something interesting. Salad's doing the same thing. Ah, of course, he should have expected a fellow android to be just as smart as him. And quickly, he shoots down all of Salad's drones. Of course, Salad could build more later, but right now he won't have them to support him in battle. They're providing so much data about 13. But in terms of this new form, he's going to be completely left in the dark. The Saiyans go into attack, with Piccolo telling Salad to join them. Even though the group does outnumber Android 13, there's too many of them to fight at once. Especially considering the fact that Android 13 is so much stronger than all of them, possibly even combined. Of course, this ends up causing the Kaioken users to actually have to use Kaioken. But that doesn't even help too much. Even with people like Goku that are incredibly strong, especially with Kaioken on top of it, it's not doing too much to help. And of course, it just gives 13 more and more data, which only adds to how formidable of a foe he is. And 13's not even the only one they're facing. Even though he is kinda injured, Tau is there too. And granted, he's not as powerful as 13, and not nearly as tough to take on. But with 13 there, Tau works as an excellent distraction. Because if anyone tries to attack him, it leaves them open for Android 13. 13 begins charging up a bunch of energy, surrounded by a red dome of it, as it then explodes outwards, knocking all the fighters back and leveling the entire area, including the mountains around them and the lab. The mountain range and forest is turned into a desolate wasteland, as the fighters dig themselves out of the rubble, ready to fight once more. But they're running out of energy. The use of Kaioken is wearing out the fighters that can use it. And even though Salad and Piccolo can regenerate, it's not like they can infinitely keep fighting. They hear all the Namekians inside of them trying to communicate, warning of the threat that they're facing. The Namekians try to guide Piccolo, And as for Salad, they know he's an odd case, and give him an idea. Salad has something he could use. He doesn't know if it'll actually work, but it might pay off. Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta are trying to take on 13 right now. And Piccolo watches as Salad then jumps in, now surrounded by a red glow. Wait, he has Kaioken? Yeah, he actually did have it, but he was trying to save it because he didn't know if he'd pull it off. With all the research he's done on everyone, as well as the fact that he has updated DNA from Goku and all, he's always had access to this, but he saw how painful it was for the others to use and decided against it. Not to mention, he didn't know how it would interact with his body. It's one thing with the humans and Saiyans, but with him, he was kinda unsure. The good thing is he can regenerate while using it, although he's not using it at very high levels right now. At most, he'd probably be able to push it ×4. But because of how little practice he has with it, it's incredibly draining. But still, even with this additional power, it seems like it's not enough. There seems to be no way for them to actually defeat Android 13. Is this really it? It seems everything's gonna end here. Fighters are picked off one by one, left heavily injured or unconscious. The only fighters barely standing are Goku, Piccolo, and Salad. But even then they're on their last legs. But out from nearby rubble, Gohan jumps out, displaying one of his rage boosts. He actually does land some hits on Android 13, surprising the android. He didn't have data on any of this. He knew Gohan was prone to rage boost, but he didn't know he can get this powerful from it. Although of course, this rage boost is fleeting, and as Gohan continues punching and kicking the android, he grabs Gohan midair. He lifts up another hand and charges a point-blank blast. The others watch on in fear, thinking he'll actually kill Gohan. But quickly Salad extends one of his arms out, grabbing onto 13's other arm, redirecting the blast. Gohan then has one last burst of energy, kicking Android 13's arm and breaking it, freeing himself. And now Android 13's even more pissed. With his one non-broken arm, he launches an attack at Gohan, leaving behind a massive crater and a heavily injured Gohan. 13 then slowly walks over to Salad and Goku. They should have expected this. The androids are superior after all, and it's a shame that Salad wasn't there to join them. But all that matters is in the end, Gero was able to win. Tao weakly stands up, brushing himself off, and asks 13 if he will let him do the honors. He sticks out a blade towards Goku, ready to finish the job. But then decides maybe it would be best to give Goku a little show first. With his cannon arm, he begins charging a blast, directed right at Gohan. Before Goku dies, Tao wants to make sure he watches everyone else die around him too. Tao turns over to Gohan, launching the blast, and a flash of light warps around him. The blast makes impact and explodes, and Tao turns back to Goku, only to see that he's not there. Wait, what? Salad and Piccolo are just as confused. That flash of light that warped around Tao, it couldn't be. And as the blast dissipates, they see Goku standing over there, although something's different about him. They can't see it first because he's coated by a golden aura, but the aura eventually clears out, revealing Goku there with blonde hair. Everyone's eyes widen, especially the weakened Vegeta nearby. That's it, Kakarot's done it. There's no doubt about it. He's become a Super Saiyan. And Goku doesn't waste this opportunity, not even knowing what power he possesses right now. Quickly he dashes over to Android 13, too fast for him to even process what's happening. The supercomputer has no data on this, and it doesn't seem like he's gonna get any data anytime soon. And with the little energy he has remaining, Goku launches one attack and makes it count, completely destroying the android, only to collapse right after. Tao panics after seeing this, and he tries to escape now. He quickly tries to leave the area, only to be hit by a blast. Tenshinhan, with the last of his energy, launches a Kikoho, finishing the job and killing Tao. Everyone's bloodied and beaten, but they're victorious. And after some time, they're all healed. But Salad uses this opportunity to try and make himself stronger. So that form Goku had was interesting. He wanted to see if he could study it at all, learning from it and seeing if he could apply it to himself somehow. But more importantly, he's studying the blueprints of the other androids, as well as whatever pieces of them he found scattered around. The main thing he wants is what Tao had, infinite energy. But also he wanted to see what made Android 13 so powerful, how he was able to merge with the other androids, and seeing if he's capable of anything similar. With the pieces that he's gathered, Salad begins studying them, not sure what each of them do and where they're from. He's surprised he even found any of these random robot parts scattered around. But as he continues studying them, something weird begins happening. It's kind of like he saw before in the battlefield. The parts, they begin vibrating, and they jump up from the lab around him, colliding with Salad and assimilating within him. He's not sure what just happened, and he doesn't know if it's a good sign or a bad sign. But we'll be saving that for next time. This is where we leave off for now. So, what did you guys think about this part, and what do you think will happen next time? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like, and let's try to hit that like goal from the beginning of the video so we can get another part to this series. If you haven't already, why not subscribe, as well as hitting the bell icon to get notified about any future parts of this What If, or any other videos that I upload on my channel. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.